What's up, Outlaw fans, and welcome to a flashback to week 2 of the 32 truck year-long season of racing. This is actually the last race that was filmed on my tracks before they got taken down. I filmed it and never got around to editing it before we went on our trip, and I finally got it put together and it is ready and here for you guys tonight. As you see, we're on the Monday Night Drags track. All 32 fit in here, and it was a tight fit, but we got them in. There you see Rudy, the winner of week 1. Can he hang on, or is somebody going to take it away from him? Kicking things off with round number 1. That's the old timer, James Vaillancourt, coming out of Boston with the Jestelade. He's going to pull to the line in the left lane, and in the right lane, he's going to face my buddy from Utah, Chase Moyes, in his Time Flies machine. This will be his last ride in the Time Flies as he's joined Blake's Motorsports driving a brand new Bigfoot. There's the green light coming down the stretch, looking pretty even up and over the cars. A pretty tight race. We may have to check the instant replay there. And the old timer, James Vaillancourt in Jestelade, is going to barely get it done over Chase Moyes in the Time Flies. Chase Moyes moving on to Blake's Motorsports with a brand new Bigfoot. Now up next, here's Jordan Mullins out of Nashville, Tennessee with the full charge Corvette machine, pulling to the left lane, and in the right lane, she is set to take on Aaron Church in the Alien Invasion. Now, Jordan looked pretty good in week 1. Aaron struggled a little bit. Let's see what he's got this week. There's the green light coming down the stretch. They look pretty even up and over the cars, and Jordan Mullins is going to get it done in the full charge Corvette, putting Aaron Church on the trailer once again early here in round 1. Up next to the line, the Cowboy from Hell, Tim Cantwell, brings the Bounty Hunter to the line in the left lane, the owner of Wild West Racing, and his opponent in the right lane is going to be Michael Harry, coming out of Detroit, Michigan, with his Anger Management Chevrolet. Let's see who's going to get it done here in round 1 as the green light goes. Here they come down the stretch, pretty even up and over the cars, a tight race. Michael gets a little too much air, and I believe that may have cost him the win, as Tim Cantwell looks like he may have come back on him. We're going to check the photo finish here, and sure enough, Tim Cantwell and the Bounty Hunter gets it done, moving into round 2. Michael Harry with just a little too much air, and Tim was able to get his nose of the Ford Expedition in front first. Now up next to the line, coming out of Welch, West Virginia, that's Aiden Johnson out of Get Schooled Racing with a Doomsday machine, set to take on Peanut, part of the Sunflower Monster Truck crew, driving the Max D. There's the green light now. Here they come down the stretch. 2 youngsters throwing it down, up and over. Oh, what a tight race. We are definitely going to have to check the photo finish on that one. 2 youngsters throwing it down out here. Let's see who got it done in the photo finish. And Peanut's just going to barely edge out Aiden Johnson in the Doomsday machine. We'll see Peanut in round 2. Up next here in round 1, pulling to the line in the left lane, the owner of Team 911 out of Buffalo, New York. That is Rich Wagner in the Backdraft Dodge. His opponent in the right lane is going to be Raylan Mullins, coming out of Nashville, Tennessee, with the Whiplash machine. Now, she saw her sister win earlier. Let's see if she can do it as well. As the green light goes, coming down the stretch, Rich has got a big lead on her, and she is not going to be able to catch up to old Rich Wagner, and he's going to get the win. Now, up next here's Krista Roberts out of Wild West Racing with the Scarlet Bandit machine. She's always a tough competitor out here. You never know when she's going to sneak up on you. And she is set to face off against another lady out of Bonita Springs, Florida. That is Savannah out of Thick and Thin Racing with the Brodozer machine. Let's see who gets it done as the green light waves coming down the stretch. They're looking pretty even up and over. Krista with a nosedive, but she's going to get it done over Savannah in the Brodozer machine. Coming up next to the line, out of Team Walk the Plank Racing out of Slidell, Louisiana, that is Violet Craddock in the Monster Mutt Poodle. This will be her last race in the Poodle as she's switching over to Dalmatian Galaxy. She's set to face off against Rudy out of Bonita Springs, Florida with the Samson Chevrolet. He was known to cancel the show because he won. Let's see if he can hang on. Down the stretch, they look pretty even, coming up and over in a close race. I believe Violet Craddock may have just knocked off Rudy Zilliger, who got the win last week in week number 1. And that is going to knock him off. And it is confirmed Violet Craddock got the win. Up next to the line, coming to the left lane out of Boise, Idaho, that is Justin Lamb, driver of the Snakebite Treasure Hunt Machine. And he is set to face off against another Snakebite, the Red Snakebite, out of Team Walk the Plank Racing out of Slidell, Louisiana. That's Jason Craddock. 2 snakes about to throw it down. Here they come down the stretch with the green light coming up and over, and what a close race. Both snakes are throwing it down, fang to fang, but let's see who got it in the photo finish. And Justin Lamb is going to barely hang on, getting the win in the Snakebite Treasure Hunt. Jason Craddock going on the trailer early here tonight. Up next to the line, out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, that's Keith Cromwell in the Crustacean, the Monster Lobster pulling to the line. His opponent in the right lane, out of Chesterfield, Michigan, that's Chris Baluch in the Stone Crusher. Now remember last week, Chris Baluch flipped it over, got a little bit of body damage, but the truck's A-OK. Coming down the stretch, they're pretty even up and over the cars in a very tight race. We're going to have to check the photo finish to see who got it. And by a claw, Keith Cromwell is going to advance into round 2, putting Chris Baluch on the trailer. Chris's new body should be coming in soon. We'll be keeping an update on that. Up next, here's the owner of MTA Monster Truck Attitude. That's Steve Jones out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, with the Virginia Giant. Set to take on in the right lane out of Nashville, Tennessee, Jeffrey Skipper out of Blakesters Motorsports with the Blue Thunder Overcast. Let's see who's going to get it done. Here they come down the stretch now. Steve's got a lead on him, and Jeffrey can't catch up, and Steve Jones is going to put himself in round 2. That was the last race for Jeffrey in that truck as he's joined Team 911. Well, up next, out of Welch, West Virginia, that's Ryan Johnson in the West Virginia Mountaineer, the owner of Get Schooled Racing. And he's set to take on my buddy from Kansas, one of them, Wichita, Kansas, Lewis Thompson IV, the owner of LT4 in the Pure Muscles Chevrolet. Here they come down the stretch, a classic Ford Chevy matchup up and over. What an incredible close race. I don't know who got it. Let's see the photo finish. And barely, just barely, Lewis Thompson IV is going to get Ryan Johnson. What a close race. The wild man goes on the trailer early. Up next, in the left lane out of Clemson, South Carolina, they call him Dirt Dog. That is Chad Legit in the Tropical Thunder Chevrolet. And in the right lane, he is set to take on out of Batesville, Mississippi. That is Blake Willis, the owner of Blakesters Motorsports, with his Mohawk Warrior Fire. There stays now. There's the green light as it waves coming down the stretch. Chad's got a big lead up and over the cars, and Chad is going to put Blake on the trailer early. We'll see Chad in round 2 action. Blake going on the trailer early, making some adjustments on Mohawk Warrior Fire. Up next, out of Arnold, Missouri, my buddy Mitch Brown in the Trick Flow Bigfoot. His last race in this old truck, as he's going to swap to his new one that he built, is set to take on out of Blakesters Motorsports, coming out of Calais, Maine, Ryan Hayward in the Bigfoot. This will be Ryan's last race as he is stepping away from racing. There's the green light, 2 Bigfoots throwing it down, and Ryan Hayward is going to put the nail in the coffin for Mitch Brown. Mitch Brown goes out early, and Ryan Hayward's going to advance. Up next, out of Buffalo, New York, out of Team 911, that is Ethan Wagner with his 5-alarm machine. His opponent in the right lane is going to be Mike Lanford out of Corey Marvin's Chevy American Revolution race team. They call him Big Mike. Let's see who gets it done as they come down the stretch. They're looking pretty even, coming up and over the cars, and another tight race there. Let's see. We're going to check the photo finish to see who got it done. And looking at it, Mike Lanford, Big Mike's going to barely edge out Ethan Wagner. What a close race, but we'll see Mike Lanford in round 2 action. Now up next to the line, that is Nugget coming out of the Sunflower Monster Truck crew with the Zombie Machine. And his opponent in the right lane is going to be none other than Donald Price Jr. coming out of Corey Marvin's Chevy American Revolution race team with the Big Kahuna. You know he's always a threat out here on the outlaw circuit as the green light waves coming down the stretch up and over. Oh my goodness. Nugget is going to get a huge upset right there and put Donald on the trailer early. Now, as the owner watched his teammate go down there, that's Corey Marvin out of Ontario, Canada, the owner of Corey's Chevy American Revolution race team with Northern Nightmare, set to take on Shaggy out of the owner of Sunfire Monster Truck Crew, Matt Cheever and Gravedigger the Legend. Coming down the stretch now, up and over, a pretty close race, but Matt Cheever, Shaggy, is going to get it done over Corey Marvin and the Northern Nightmare Machine. Now we're set to kick off round 2 action here as Jordan Mullins brings the full charge Corvette back to the line. She's going to be in the left lane. She's got a tough competitor in the right lane, as that's the old-timer James Valancourt and Jester. They both look good in round 1, but let's see who's going to get it done to kick off round 2 as they come down the stretch now. James has got a lead on her, and he's going to get it done over the full charge machine and Jordan Mullins. She's on the trailer. James is in round 3. Up next, coming to the line, the Cowboy from Hell brings Bounty Hunter back to the line. That's Tim Cantwell in the left lane. His opponent in the right lane is going to be Peanut in the Max D machine. Now, Bounty Hunter getting the win in round 1, but so did Peanut, but Peanut barely got there. Can he get Bounty Hunter here as they come down the stretch? Tim's got a lead on him, up and over, and Tim's going to get it done in the Bounty Hunter machine. Peanut's on the trailer. Now up next, here comes Tim's wife, Krista Roberts, with the Scarlet Bandit machine. She looked good in round 1 action. She pulls to the line in the left lane, and then she's going to face off against, in the right lane, that's going to be Rich Wagner in the Backdraft machine. It's going to be a 4 Dodge matchup. Let's see who's going to be able to get it done here. Coming down the stretch, Krista's got a lead on him, up and over with a wheel stand across the cars. Krista Roberts showing you the power of the Scarlet Bandit machine as she advances. Now next up here, pulling to the left lane, that's going to be Violet Craddock with the Monster Mutt Poodle, and her opponent in the right lane is going to be Justin Lamb with the Snakebite Treasure Hunt. Both look very good in round 1. Violet knocking off Rudy's Eulogy. And let's see if she can continue the momentum here as they come down the stretch. Justin's got a lead on her, up and over. It got kind of tight down there at the end, but Justin Lamb is going to advance into round 3. Up next here in round 2 action, Keith Cromwell brings the Crustacean back to the line. He pulls up in the left lane, and over in the right lane, that's going to be Steve Jones in the Virginia Giant Ford. A huge shout out to him as he just celebrated 100 episodes of Thursday Night Thunder. As they come down the stretch here now, Steve's got a big lead on Keith, and then Steve Jones up and over the cars. He's going to get it done over the Monster Lobster machine. Up next, Big Lou's coming back to the line with that beautiful Pure Muscle Chevrolet. He pulls up to the left lane, staged and ready. And over in the right lane, he's got to face off against Chad Legit in the Tropical Thunder. Both of them look very good in round 1, with Lewis barely advancing over the Wild Man. 2 Chevrolets set to throw it down as they come down the stretch. They look dead even, up and over. Oh my goodness, what a close race. Looking at the photo finish here, Chad Legit is going to barely edge out the Pure Muscle machine with Lewis Thompson. Lewis goes on the trailer. We'll see Chad in round 3. Up next, Ryan Hayward pulls back to the line in the Bigfoot machine. He pulls up in the left lane. And in the right lane, he is set to face off against Mike Lanford in that 57 Chevy Nomad, the Avenger. 2 beautiful trucks up here. The classic matchup of Ford and Chevrolet. But who's going to get it done as they come down the stretch? Ryan Hayward's got a big lead up and over the cars, and Ryan Hayward is going to put Big Mike on the trailer. Coming up next, pulling to the line in the left lane, that's Nugget in the Zombie. He had a huge round 1 win as he put Donald Price Jr. on the trailer, and he is set to take on his uncle, the owner of the team. That's Matt Cheever, Shaggy in the Gravedigger the Legend machine. Let's see who can get it done here. The teacher or the student coming down the stretch. They look pretty even coming up and over the cars. Oh my goodness. That is such a close race. I don't know who got it. Let's check the instant replay to see. And old Shagster's going to barely hang on, getting the win over Nugget. But Nugget was right there with him, cutting him no slack. Now here we are in round 3 action as the cowboy from hell, Tim Cantwell, brings the bounty hunter machine back to the line. He pulls up ready in the left lane. Looked good all night. He is set to face off against the old-timer, James Vaillancourt, in the Jester machine, a Ford and a Cadillac pulling to the line. They look good all night, but who's going to advance into the semifinals? Coming down the stretch, James has got a lead on him, and James is going to get it done over Tim Cantwell in the bounty hunter. Now coming up next, she just watched her husband get defeated. You know she wants to win for him. Krista Roberts pulling back to the line in the Scarlet Bandit machine. And in the right lane, she is set to face off against Justin Lamb in the Snakebite Treasure Hunt. They have both looked good all night long, but let's see who's going to be the second to move into the semis. Coming down the stretch now, they look pretty even coming up and over the cars, and Justin Lamb is going to punch his ticket to the semifinals, putting Wild West Racing and Krista Roberts on the trailer. Well, up next now, Dirt Dog Chad Legit bringing the Tropical Thunder to the line, pulling up in the left lane, and his opponent in the right lane is going to be Steve Jones in the Virginia Giant Ford. It's going to be another Ford Chevy matchup. Let's see who can get it done to punch their ticket to the semis. Here's the green light now. Coming down the stretch, they are pretty much dead even, door handle up and over. But Steve Jones is going to triumph in the end, putting Chad Legit on the trailer. Now up next, Ryan Hayward pulling back to the line in that beautiful Bigfoot machine as he pulls to the left lane, getting staged and ready. His opponent in the right lane is going to be your boy Shaggy, Matt Cheever, and Grave Digger the Legend. Let's see who can get it done as Blakester Motorsports takes on the Sunflower Monster Truck crew. The green light waves, they come down the stretch. Ryan's got a little bit of a lead, and he's going to hang on to it across the finish line. I believe it looked like he got it, but we're going to double check. And sure enough, Ryan Hayward is going to barely get the nose of the Bigfoot machine across the line first. Now here we are. Well, excuse me. One more race in round 3 as Justin Lamb pulls to the line with that Snakebite Treasure Hunt, and his opponent in the right lane is going to be James Vaillancourt with the Jester machine. And excuse me again, as we are in semifinal action right here now as we're going to kick it off. There's the green light as it waves coming down the stretch, up and over the cars, and another tight race there. We're going to see who got it. And by fame, Justin Lamb in the Snakebite Treasure Hunt is going to advance into the finals. Now let's see who's going to join him there as Steve Jones brings the Virginia Giant Ford to the line. He pulls to the left lane, getting staged and ready. And his opponent in the right lane is Ryan Hayward in the right lane with the Bigfoot machine. This is his last race with the machine in Blakester Motorsports. Let's see if he can get it done over Steve Jones. As the green light waves, they come down the stretch. 2 Fords duking it out, coming up and over. And Steve Jones is going to put the nail in the coffin for Ryan Hayward as Steve Jones advances into the finals. And here we are with the finals. It's going to be Steve Jones in the Virginia Giant Ford, set to take on Justin Lamb with the Snakebite Treasure Hunt. That's also got a Ford motor up under it. Let's see who's going to get it done. Can Steve get win number 2, or is Justin Lamb going to get win number 1? The green light waves coming down the stretch. A huge wheel stand by Steve Jones, and that's going to cost him the race win as he went out in style. A huge congratulations to my buddy Justin Lamb.